Because a lot of stock investors, a lot of pro stocks investors, right, they really don't like property one. They say property cannot earn money, property cannot capital appreciate anymore. But then pro property investors, they langsong, they don't touch stocks one. Because they feel that stocks is very fake. I would say just a little bit of news can suddenly drop a lot, especially in Malaysian market. Hi guys, my name is Dylan. So today we'll be starting a new series, which is what we call the On The Way series. Why is it on the way? Is because every time, right, when we are driving to a destination, we will always be talking about life, talking about properties, investment, etc. So right beside me here is Stephanie. She will always be talking, life, talking investment with me. I was thinking, why not we just share the things that we say, because it's an interactive session I think.
So I have one question. Because I noticed you've been buying properties, one properties per year. I'm just wondering, why can't you just, leave your money in the bank account, maybe invest in stocks or something?
Because this question, right, is a little bit on mindset, I mean, since young, right, my parents, my mother always say, I'm a big spender. Okay, because every time when I go to a restaurant, I will definitely look at the menu. I will order the most expensive drink. They kind of always the colourful one. They say blue colour, green colour one. I will sure order that kind one. Since young, she has already implanted this mindset that I'm a big spender. So I'm technically, when I grow up, right, I'm not really a big spender. I'm still very thrifty in certain sense. But then I always tend to spend on small items that I won't use, or the kind of gadgets that I won't use. So these are the things that made me think that property is actually very illiquid. It's very slow, very fixed game. So I cannot do anything once I sign the SPA. I can just sit down there and wait. That's the reason why I invested in properties.
But then even with stocks, you still think that you will withdraw anytime and to just buy anything, right?
Okay, see, stocks when I invest in stocks, right, yes, it's not so flexible because I invest in Singapore. It's not so flexible because you have to price in the currency exchange rate and everything, right? But then there is still a tendency for you to withdraw it out, because it's only the whole process, right, for you to withdraw it out from Singapore back to Malaysia is only lesser than 3 days. So it's very, very illiquid. So if you were to make a big purchase, it's still very easy to withdraw it out. And one more thing is, personally, I invest in stocks a lot, but I always cannot tahan the fluctuation of stock prices. So when a stock goes down, right, this is of course a typical investor, novice investor mindset. Whenever I see the price drop a little bit, I will panic. But of course, when years comes by, I will still average in. But then sometimes your mindset must be very strong when you invest in stocks.
I think for me, the process of withdrawing from stocks or even in unit trust and all that, right, it's very tedious process to me. So it actually demotivates me from withdrawing also . So I think for me, stocks investment is enough to make me safe. But then, of course, for you panic once it has dropped a little bit, but then it's because you look at it every day, but it's not supposed to be looking at it every day. Yeah,
Michelle, because I'm a very obsessive person when it comes to investing my money, right? Because all the money that we earn is really, really hard-earned money. And I'm not from a wealthy family. Whenever I earn any sort of salary or whatsoever, right, then it makes me really want to treasure this money well. So then I will want to maximize the money I have in investing to get the most profit out of it.
But aren't you scared that all your money is in property, so it becomes illiquid? So in times of emergency, when you need money, then?
Yes, that's why normally, even though I love properties, I love investing in properties, right? But for me, it's always still a 60-40 ratio when it comes to investing. So 60% of it will be in properties, and the remaining 40% will be either in stocks or money market or FDs. It's still a very flexible thing for me because I'm from finance and we always learn diversification, asset diversification. But how often we really apply this in real life? Because I realized one thing, right? And this is the reason why I started this channel as well. Because a lot of stock investors, a lot of pro stocks investors, right, they really don't like property one. They say property cannot earn money, property cannot capital appreciate anymore. But then for property investors, pro property investors, they langsong, they don't touch stocks one. Because they feel that stocks is very fake. Just a little bit of news can suddenly drop a lot, especially in Malaysian market. A lot of people say, they'll say it's very biased. Like someone is at the back there doing things or something like that. So what I'm trying to do for this channel is to bridge both investors together. It's okay to have two types of assets in your investment portfolio, right?
And in fact, the correct theory is that in terms of portfolio diversification, right, you are supposed to diversify between assets, as in not just money market, stocks, penny stocks, not just this kind of asset class, but also beyond this kind of asset class where you have properties, you have watches. Yeah, so many things can earn money. It's just that whether you do your due diligence properly or not.
Correct.
But I think for Kiko, when I was in the bank, I think for the Kiko, a lot of people were saying, oh, Kiko cannot earn money. Kiko is like not in, not out kind of tranche where banks provide. So it's like 3 stocks together. So let's say they bundle Nvidia, Apple and Alphabet together. Then they can knock in and knock out of the price. So once it reaches the price, you get to hold the stocks or whatever. So a lot of people have been complaining, drop then only I hold the stocks. Then if make money also, I make limited amount of money. But to me, it's very interesting. So if let's say that time you knock out of Nvidia stocks already, by now you would have earned how much already if you hold the stocks. So not necessarily only property or only stocks can earn money.
But that one is a bit technical, I would say. It's not that easy to understand. It requires a banker or an investment banker to guide you. So it's very reliant on the investment banker as well, whether he or she is really well versed or he just want to make their sales. Yeah, it's very important on that.
But since you got put money in SGD, most of your savings are in SGD, right?
Yeah.
Then by buying property in Malaysia, you have to convert your SGD back into Malaysian ringgit. So doesn't that imply less returns than when you leave your money in SGD terms?
Yes, actually. Okay, so I think one thing about investors, right? Sometimes you cannot just really look at the ROI only. For me, because there are more things in life, I would say, than just ROI. Of course, if you put in Sing dollar, if we predict that every year there is increase, Sing dollar strengthen against Ringgit Malaysia, and we put in their FD, definitely the gain will be higher than I invest in properties in Malaysia. Because in properties in Malaysia, right, it's just like a hedging against inflation. Why I bought my 5th property in Desa Park is because, first of all, I'm a believer in that area. After doing a lot of studies in that area, I feel that it's time to venture into the northern part of KL to invest in this township and etc. So even though if I maintain my money in Singapore, of course it will have higher returns. But sometimes you also want something that you really like. Because when you really like, whatever returns that you get, right, even though it's slightly lower, you'll be happy with it. I find that a lot of investors, they are just unsatisfied or very greedy with the returns that they get. Let's say if they get 6 or 7% return per annum, they'll still be complaining. Because that's not the thing they really like. Maybe they like properties, maybe they like watches. But the right thing or the logical thing is to invest in currencies for them. But then they're not happy. So it really depends on the product, right? You have to be happy with the product that you invest in.
The 6-7% is quite a lot already there in today's context.
Yes.
To be able to earn 6-7% from an investment.
Correct.
Not easy.
Okay, I think the way of me looking at investments, right, especially properties investment, is not just ROI. ROI, of course, you take the rental, you divide by the loan amount or the property amount. That's the percentage, 4%, 5%, 6%. For me, I calculate the different way, which is using COCR, which is a cash on cash return, which means every single dollar that I spend on this property, inclusive of your booking fees, your down payments, your maintenance, whatsoever, every single dollar I spend, how much am I getting back in return? So for this property that I bought, I think after my conservative calculation, right, I'm expecting around every dollar that I spend, I can get back around 1 ringgit and 65 cents. So which means it's a very healthy portfolio based on my calculation. I think this is a better way rather than using the ROI to calculate. Rather than 6-7%, I'm looking at the net value. Yeah, I think that would be a better choice. So I guess we are reaching our destination. Okay, we're actually going out for lunch. So that's all for our first episode, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you like it, do subscribe, and we'll talk more about investments or even life. Okay, see you. Bye. Cheers.